So hi everybody, in this video we are going to do selection sort. So what selection sort is? Selection sort is an sorting algorithm, and so what it basically means is that it sorts the elements of an array in ascending or in descending order. So some bullet points about selection sort is that it is an in-place sorting algorithm, and what an in-place sorting algorithm means is that it, while sorting the elements of the array, it doesn't create any another array in the memory. So it is pretty space efficient because it doesn't create any another array in the memory. Second point is that it's the worst case of the algorithm is O(n) square. Now I'll make another video about this big O notation. But O(n) square is the big O notation of this sorting algorithm. But for now, just learn that it is an inefficient sorting algorithm if the array contains large number of data. And generally we don't perform this sorting algorithm. We generally perform insertion sort because insertion sort is pretty efficient in comparison to selection sort. So the algorithm of this sorting algorithm is that we take a variable I that points to the first variable and a variable j that points to the next variable of I. For example, if I is pointing to 9, then j is pointing to 7, and then we run I from 0 to 6 and j from 1 to 6, and whenever the value of I becomes greater than the value of j, we just swap it. So so I'll show you something else. This is the working of this sorting algorithm. Now don't panic, and this is a fairly simple sorting algorithm. So what I told you is that whenever the value of I becomes greater than the value of j, we just swap it. So when in the first case, I is pointing to 9 and j is pointing to 7, as j is pointing to the next value of I. So I is pointing to 9 and j is pointing to 7. Here the value of I is greater than the value of j, so we swap it, and after swapping the array becomes like this. Now I is pointing to 7 and j is pointing to 9. Now j increases. Now j is pointing to 7. Now I is pointing to 7 and j is pointing to 3. Now 7 is greater than 3. So we swap it again. Now the array becomes like this. Now we increases j. Now I is pointing to 3 and j is pointing to 1. Now as i's value is greater than j's value, we just swap it again. And after swapping, the array becomes like this. Now i's value is smaller than every other value in the array. So we just repeat the process till I reaches the last element, and when we look at the array is sorted. Now I'll just code it up for you in Java. So don't panic if you see this. This is just I've created the environment to run the code. So it is I'm just taking the input. How many this takes number of elements in the array, and here I'm just entering the values in the array. Now I'll make a function which sorts the array, which here I'm taking the input, and I'll make another function which just sorts the array. So I'll make a function public static. I'll make a static function, because if I don't make a static function, I'll just have to make a void sorted array. I'll just take an int. I'll take an array as input as a parameter. Now what I did now the algorithms have to take two loops, and if the value of I becomes greater than the value of j, I have to swap it. I'm going to do the same here. Int, I'm taking one loop which starts from 0, and it runs from array dot length I plus every time it increases. For int j is I plus 1. J is always pointing to one greater position than I. As you can see here, that j is always pointing to a greater position than I. J is less than array dot length j plus plus. Now this is the main part of the algorithm. If the element at the ith position at any time becomes greater than the element in the jth position, all I have to do is just swap. I'll take a variable that contains the value of I. That's the algorithm for swapping. I'll just put the value of j and array temp. So this is the whole algorithm. Now I'll just display the values for int l is equals to 0, l is less than array dot length, and l plus plus. Array l plus, I'll just, so it looks a bit nice, I'll just display it. So before this, I'll just create a output display statement that the sorted array is okay. Now I've just have to call this function in the main method, sorted array, and I have to give it an input array, and I have to just run this method. Okay, it shows me how many elements you want in an array. I just want 10 elements in my array, so it tells me start entering the values in the array, and add 98, 99, 10. Let's take a my negative value, plus 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. As you can see, we get our sorted array. So it is basically, so it is a fairly simple sorting algorithm. And now as we move further down below, insertion sort, merge sort, the algorithms become more and more complex, but the running time of the algorithm becomes less, and the running time is the thing that we care the most about. So if you have any questions or any comments about the channel, you can ask it down below. Thank you so much.